which is a active adult community located in what we would consider an infill area of Coeur d'Alene. It's a 12-acre, 80-unit development, single family and townhomes. Just a week ago, I gave a presentation to the Green Expo in Boise on the Not So Big neighborhood, and what that presentation started with, taking a look at what's happening in our country from a demographic standpoint. And everybody knows the numbers. There's 78 million baby boomers. Well, right now we have 10,000 baby boomers turning a day 62. We looked at Coeur d'Alene, saw that there was no active adult 55 plus community in the city of Coeur d'Alene. So we looked at the market analysis and knew there was a need for it. We have many buyers that own 1 or 2 acres with a nice 4,000 or 5,000 square foot house. As they turn 65, 70, 75, they're looking to simplify, less maintenance on the exterior of the property and the house, less utility bills, closer in, a little bit more accessible to maybe things like medical and grocery. The other is they're looking for value-based, and value-based can come in energy efficiency, but it can also come in with good quality of construction. And so all of those components start to play into green, but they're walking in, looking at our product, looking at the interior design, and it feels like home. Well, green to us is durable construction practices, energy efficiency, healthy indoor air quality, using local resource materials as well as fabrications if we can. I think it's a pretty simple answer. I think it's the right thing to do. Being responsible with our natural resources that are going to continue to be more difficult to get.
You know, I know with builders and with a lot of home buyers, cost effectiveness is always an issue. I always like to look beyond that and see that we're building for ourselves, but we're building a house that we hope is going to be around here for 100 years, and we're building for our children and our children's children.
Well, there's numerous advantages. The primary one that people like is typically saving on operating costs. So we do a lot of work on energy efficiency for that reason. We believe in the future that we'll probably see a lot more about water efficiency, water quality. There's an expression, water is the next oil. It's not there yet. We still have the luxury of cheap water, and even in places like Idaho Falls, they don't even meter water though. And it's something that we have an easy time to be conscious of. There's plenty of technological advancements out there that we should be taking advantage of. You know, in sustainability, 3 to 4 years is a long time looking at lighting technology, how it changes, heating and cooling systems, and so there's always opportunity. And I love that it's a project that we never look at it as we've reached our goal, let's stop. There's always an energy to kind of continue looking and continue evolving and try to reach for that higher level of sustainability.
Providing radiant floor heat as a standard. A production builder, you know, building the walls and the truss systems in a factory and put up in a matter of 2 days. Taking a look at, you know, what we do with our insulation and how we, you know, try to really fine tune that so we do get good R values wherever we're putting it. And then how we make the home really tight. The envelope is really important to us. But then on the contrary to that, if I'm making the house real tight, then I need to be considerate of the air quality of the people living in here. So we use 0 VOCs in our primers and vapor barrier. We use 0 VOCs in our paints. We also use very low formaldehydes in a lot of our adhesives with the cabinet boxes that Huntwood makes. So the materials inside also start to guide, you know, how we're building and why we're building that way. Is it cutting edge, or is it responsible, or is some of it just common sense?
So these houses are being constructed with a vision toward the future, not toward meeting the minimum of what the code requires. I've heard energy codes and building codes defined one time by somebody as saying it's the worst house a person can legally build without being thrown in jail. So for a builder who wants to differentiate himself as being far and above code, Dennis has certainly accomplished that with the product that he's providing here.
By looking at our temperature and climate zone, we decided to put in the Cadillac heating system. So we put in a gas-fired boiler, 95% efficient, and it runs the hydronic heat through the slab. And then that also provides the hot water to the fixtures. We heard a person today say that last year On the golf course, he was paying $350 in a monthly bill. In January of this year, he paid $107. So that times 12 months, times 5 years, times 10 years starts to become a tangible item. The other thing is, even though it's that efficient, the type of heat we're providing is quality.
The LEED rating systems have been developed by experts around the country and now around the world to be the best strategies, the best practices for achieving green building. If you take it to the level of certification, certification provides you third-party verification that qualifies and verifies exactly everything that you're claiming. When you have a third party verify it, it's just a whole different level of quality control, of performance testing, and of assurance of the value of what's there. So that starts to get to a scale that it does truly transform building practices in this country when you start seeing thousands of homes in a development follow this kind of a rating system and pursue this level of quality certification.
Well, I think that the consumer is eventually going to demand, and they are in other areas of our country, to be informed and knowledgeable about the product that they're actually buying and living in 24 hours a day. I know right now that a lot of my suppliers of products are starting to offer a better, more sustainable or healthier or a better performing product. The things in the future here specific to Meadow Ranch is we're down to about 2 or 3 lots on the ridge of the 28. So we've sold those. We've got 8 of those under construction. 2 more are coming. We're starting our phase 2 that's another 30 lots. Small 4,000 square foot lots where we're building anywhere between a 1,200, 1,500, 1,600 rancher all the way up to a 2,200 square foot 2-story. Still all main level living. Meadow Ranch is an example of how we want to pursue future developments.
They feel like home. And when you walk into the neighborhood and it feels like home, there's nothing that can replace that. That's what people are looking for ultimately. Everything else is icing on the cakes for benefits and greater value.